So I just traveled to this really cool place. Let me see if I can show it to you guys. Whoa, let's just look around. Oops, you didn't see that. Let's just look around here, guys. Whoa, look at this. I don't even know where I am. I think I'm in some city called like Yeongcheon or something like that. I'm not quite sure. Wow, oops. Wow, look at this. Whoa, I think this is a good spot. I think right here is a good spot for us to activate the put our board here. There we go. Hey guys, how is it going? I'm just here at this lovely hilltop overlooking the city. As you can see, there's the city right here. I thought this would be a really nice place to do some streaming from. Welcome. Let's see who's here. Zilly, Chris O, Becca, Lauren Wilson. Let's see who else is here. Ocean Discovery, of course. Ocean Discovery. And Nightbot. Just joking. Nightbot is not a human. It is just a bot. Small, welcome. Nice view. It's windy out. A little bit windy. But I think we're okay because I've got some special technology here that stops any sort of wind or any sort of actual evidence that we're really outside. It prevents all that so that we get a nice clear stream. Kanani. Can I just call you Konami? Kanani, welcome. And we're going to be getting started really soon in about 5 minutes. So before we start, I just want to give a few announcements. As always, if you want the outline for today's stream, you can get it on Patreon. It'll be up within, as soon as the stream's over, it'll be within like 30 minutes of the stream ending. Also, right now, if you want to practice for today's live stream, maybe you've already learned about this concept. You've already learned about amu and all of those words, and you just want some practice. You're not sure if this lesson's too easy. Well, go on Patreon right now, and you can get a worksheet for this live stream. It has an additional 12 or so practice problems that use the concepts we're going to be learning about today. Some of them are a bit more difficult than what we'll do for today's lesson, so that's good if you're already above the beginner level. Also, if you'd like to support my channel, you have a few options. One option is many people are members here, and members get access to sometimes extra member posts or member updates that I don't share with the general public, as well as you get access to using the emoticons and a special badge next to your name. So I also see your name in green. And another way to support me is to become a Patreon. And finally, you can also purchase merchandise. There's like, if you want my face on a shirt or Kiket's face on a shirt, there's also some merchandise, and there's a link to that in the description as well. In fact, I'll pin something. And again, you are under no obligation to purchase anything or give me any money. This is all free. Oh, excuse me. There we go. Yeah, these live streams are all completely free, so you don't have to purchase to get access to the live streams. It's only for extra material that the memberships and all that stuff's for. Okay. Oh, Jordy Kroon, welcome. And Cheryl Schaefer, of course. Yes, so for today, the prerequisites for today's lesson are as follows. You want to be semi-familiar with negative verbs, because if you don't know how to use negative verbs, making verbs negative, or things like 없다, to not exist, 안 하다, 하지 않다, like that. If you don't know these verbs, then you won't really be able to use half of what we're going to be learning about today. If you don't know these, you can really quickly watch my live stream about negative verbs. There's an abridged version. I think it's like 10 or 15 minutes. You could watch that and then come back to this live stream. And yeah, you wouldn't miss out on too much. You just miss out the beginning stuff. Also, you want to be familiar with the particle to, which means also or to or and or even or neither, depending on how it's being used. In a negative sentence, it could translate as neither. But you want to be familiar with using this. And then although you don't have to be familiar with the ina particle, I recommend if you are. However, since this is a beginner stream, I know many beginners don't know this form yet. We're not going to be learning about this form today, But if you're familiar with this, it will help you to better understand what we're going to be learning about today, which does use this particle. So with that, that's all the prerequisites today. We will start in just 2 minutes. I'll just check out the chat. Oh, welcome, Secretive 33. Thanks for coming, my wonderful moderators. Thanks for keeping this chat. Well, I mean, I don't think the chat gets too crazy, but thanks for keeping the chat nice and organized and friendly. Jess Bridges, just seeing a few other names that I recognize here. Welcome. Oh, Anne Im, welcome. Yes. Hi from Canada. Welcome from Canada. Hello from Los Angeles. Yay, beginner class. Yeah, we always get beginner classes, but since my live stream topics are now picked by the members themselves, members typically pick more intermediate and advanced topics, but we still will have some beginner topics too. So yeah, don't think that they're all advanced or intermediate. In fact, most live classes end up being beginner level, just because most people who are learning Korean start at the beginning. So most people are going to be at the beginner level. So most people want those sort of classes. Carrie Rich, welcome. 안녕. Cheers from Denmark. Cool. Can't detect any evidence that you're outside. Yes, well, that's just the marvel of modern technology, is it not? All right, so we'll start in 1 minute. If this is your first time, welcome. If it's not your first time, welcome back. As you know, we always start at 2 o'clock. I don't start earlier, and I try not to start later. I always just start a bit early because sometimes we have technical problems or some other issues, and that way we can actually start on time when everyone comes. This feels a lot like my online classes. Nice. Yes, except I can't see you, and I don't have to bother you to mute your microphone, and you don't see anyone's like camera coming up from their nose. So yeah. All right. Let me just grab something. Okay, so today we're going to be learning about several words. The first part of our lesson, we're going to be learning about some very beginning concepts. And the second half of our lesson, we're going to be learning about more intermediate level. Let's just check here. Yes, right on time. Okay. We're going to be learning about amu first. Now, amu is an adjective. Now, what does that mean? That's important. It's important to know that it's an adjective. An adjective in English is a word that attaches to a noun. A noun is like a person, a place, or a thing, and it adds meaning to that noun. Now, this is important because this means adjectives in Korean aren't just used by themselves. You're not just going to shout out green or big, any. That doesn't make sense, right? Any what? A green what, right? A large what? Well, this is also an adjective in Korean, which means it's not used by itself. You're not just going to say, oh, any is good. Like any is fine with me. I like any. That doesn't make sense in Korean because in Korean, amu is an adjective. It has to come together with something else. But if you're going to be using amu, like I said, it'll have to come together with something else, but that could be also some particles that it can come with. So we're going to be learning about that soon. It has to be used at least together with something else. So you're not just going to see amu by itself. It'll always come together with something else, like a noun. When amu is used with a particle, and we're going to be talking about two specific ones, such as 도 or, I'll write it, ina. Now, if amu is used with ina, it's just na. But it could be used with other words, so I'm writing the whole form. If amu is used with one of these particles by itself, just amudo or amuna. that only can refer to any person. Only a person. So we'll talk about this in a second. I'm just letting you know that anytime amu is used just with a particle, not with a noun, but just with another particle, it only refers to any person. A person. It cannot refer to anything or anywhere, any noun. It has to only refer to a person. So Amudo and Amuna are only talking about people. And we'll talk about what those mean in a second. I just want to get some rules here. Also, Amu by itself like this is not used with markers. So you're not going to be using it with like the topic marker. You're not going to say Amu는 or Amuga. You're not going to be making these combinations. So don't do them. The combinations you can make with Amu, I'm actually going to tell you all of them. All of the possible combinations that you can make with Amu, you will learn from today's lesson. Now, it doesn't mean I'm going to be telling you every single noun you can use it with, but I'll tell you every possible combination, every way it can be used. So, we're going to be first learning about Amudo and Amuna, and then we're going to learn about a lot of other ways that it can be used, because this is actually a big topic that doesn't stop with this. Okay. Let's just see who. Amudo opta. Yeah, like I said, we're going to be talking about all that. Some people are asking questions. Does this word mean this? That's literally the title of this lesson. That's what we're going to be doing today. So the first one we're going to talk about is Amuna. Now, again, I said anytime it's amu with na or amu with to, it only is talking about a person. Oh, I got a donation. Cheryl. Thank you, Cheryl. You're the first supporter of today. Thanks, I really appreciate it. Let me do a dab dance. Thank you. Okay, so amuna. Because it's not being used with a noun, na is just a particle. This can only be talking about a person. So, what? What is a person? Any person, right? Any person. Well, we would just say anyone. Anyone or maybe anybody. That's what this means. But before you say it, before you wonder, well, I thought amudo also meant anybody. It does, but we'll get to that in a second. First of all, amu, na. We have na. We'll talk about this in a second. Any person. So because it's used with a particle, this means any, and it has to be about a person. So this means any person. This is only meant, sorry, let me say this again, because I have to edit this later, so I have to make sure I say it properly, or else I won't be able to edit it later. This means anyone or anybody in any positive sentence. Now, by positive, I don't mean happy, like I don't mean be more positive. I mean as in not negative. Like if you say, 좋아해요, I like it, 가요, I go, anything like that, 이에요, 입니다. Those are all positive. I am, I do, I go, I like. Anything like that is positive. If you say, 좋아하지 않아요, 안 가요, 없어요, that's a negative sentence. This is not used with negative sentences. This is only used with a positive sentence. So anytime you want to say anyone or anybody in a positive sentence, as in anyone will, anyone does, anyone is, like that, you can use this. And not if you wanted to say anyone didn't come. Well, that you'll have to use something different. Anyone doesn't like it. That doesn't make any sense, even in English. So yeah, anyone or anybody, but only in a positive sentence. And we will be doing examples about all of these, so don't worry. Let me actually just do a sentence with this. 아무나 좀 도와주세요. Now, 좀 means a little, but 좀 is used with any sort of request to make the request sound a bit softer, to make it sound less like a demand and more like a soft request. So what do you think this would mean? Just think about it for a second. I'll tell you what it means, but think about what does the sentence mean? 아무나 좀 도와주세요. Literally, 아무, any, person. Remember I said only with positive sentences. This is not a negative sentence. It's just a regular sentence. A positive sentence because it's not regular, because it's not negative. It's a positive sentence. So anyone, please help me. So help me, someone. Help me, anyone. Help me, anybody. Help me, someone. Like that sort of sense. So someone or anyone, literally anyone, please help me. Anyone, please help me. 아무나 좀 도와주세요. So this is what you can shout out. You're like, your foot's stuck in the ground. I don't know, how is your foot stuck in the ground? Your foot's stuck, okay? And there's a bunch of people walking around, but you need help. You're like, 아무나 좀 도와주세요. Anybody, anyone, please help me. 좀, like, hey, please, could you? Anyone, please help me, anyone. In English, you might more naturally translate this as someone, please help me, someone. But by saying someone, you're really saying anyone, right? Anyone, help me. Anyone, please help me. 아무나 좀 도와주세요. Okay, and don't worry, we will be doing some more examples of this. I'm just going to be doing some one example each as we do each of these different words, and then we'll go back into a few more examples. The next one is very similar to 아무나, and that is 아무도. 아무 is same, 아무 is any, and 도 is even. Remember what I said again. Anytime you have 도, sorry, I should say that again. Remember that I said anytime you have a particle with 아무 and no other noun. So anytime you have 아무 with a particle and no other noun, remember that I said this has to be referring to a person. So literally, even anyone, right? Even anyone. Well, if you use it with 도, however, it is only for negative sentences. So you could not say something like 아무도 도와주세요. Even anyone help me. It doesn't make sense in Korean. You couldn't say 아무도 좋아해요. Anyone likes it. That doesn't make any sense. Well, it wouldn't make any sense in English either. So this has to be used with a negative sentence. Someone doesn't, someone didn't, someone is not. That sort of meaning. Oh, Alex. Hey, Alex. I just feel weird saying thanks to you because you're my brother's name's Alex too. Alex Full Metal. Thank you for the support as always. Thank you. Okay, so one more time. Because this is 아무 without a noun, it's just with a particle, it means it has to be referring to a person. So anyone. And because it uses 도, anytime 아무 is used with 도, it must be negative. It must be in a negative sentence. Which is different than when 아무 is used with 나, it must be in a positive sentence. So this would mean nobody. 아무도 means nobody. Again, only for people. This is never for an object. We'll talk about how to say that later. 아무도, nobody. So this has to be used with a negative sentence. Literally, though, it means even anyone, right? Even anyone. So let's do an example of this. 파티, party. 파티에, to the party. 아무도. You guys try to finish this sentence. 파티에 아무도. Nobody. How would you say nobody came to the party? Nobody came. Remember, 아무도 therefore must be used with a negative sentence. So try to finish this sentence yourself, and then I'll give you the answer in a second. Oh, I got another donation. Cool. 3 donations, and I've only been going for like 10 minutes. Will, 4. All right. First, let me check out Leon. You guys still try to finish the sentence. I'll check the chat in a second. Leon, as well as Will. Thank you, both of you. Leon as well as Will. 감사합니다, 선생님. You're welcome, and thank you, Will. Let me do a couple dabs first for Leon. Let me do another dab for Will. If you don't want to dab, though, let me know. I just do dabs by default these days. Oh, and Carrie. Meanwhile, you guys are writing the answer. I see you guys are doing pretty good. I see several sentences that are that have got it. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, Carrie also. Thank you. Wow. Carrie Rich, more like Carrie Rich. Am I? Actually, I don't know. I'm not. Thank you. Let me do another dab party. Let's do a kimchi dab party. This is perfect timing for donations because when I had you guys write down something, so it gives you guys a second. Thank you. Okay. Let's check here. Yeah, I see you guys got it. Yeah. So, 파티에 아무도. Well, what has to come after here? Because it's 아무도, it has to be a negative. So, you could say something like 안 왔어요, 안 오다, or, you know, anything 안 갔어요 is okay. No one went to the party. Well, here, let's say nobody came to the party. So we're talking about here, as in we are currently at the party, but nobody came to the party. So we're going to say, and like I said, there's other ways you could write this. 오지 않았어요. So here we have 파티에, to the party. 아무도 오지 않았어요. So literally, even anyone, not even anyone, came to the party. 파티에 아무도 안 왔어요. I just read it wrong, but that means the exact same thing. Let me read what I actually wrote though. 파티에 아무도 오지 않았어요. 파티에 아무도 오지 않았어요. So literally, to the party, even anyone did not come. Nobody came to the party. 파티에 아무도 I almost did it again. 파티에 아무도 오지 않았어요. Nobody came to the party. Okay. And again, don't worry, we're going to be doing some more examples with each of these words. I just want to introduce one sentence with each one first. Our next form. Okay, so those are the two basic forms. And I said both of those are talking about a person. So anyone or not anyone in a negative sentence. But you can also use 아무. You can also use 아무 as an adjective, remember? But we haven't really used 아무 as an adjective yet. So what does that mean? An adjective. Well, I said an adjective can describe a noun. So you can use 아무 with a noun and say any noun. Any noun. The basic usage of it is just this, and you're done. But if you want to use it in a sentence, you're going to need to add something onto the end of that as well. So you can add on to the end 이나. Now that is 이, 나 after a consonant, or just 나 after a vowel. So if you were to take, for example, let's just use the example of 과자, snacks or chips. 과자 ends in a vowel, so 아무 과자 나, any chips, like that. Or if you were to say 아무 집, 집 meaning house, so any house. 집 ends in a consonant, so 아무 집이나, 아무 집이나, like that. This is all you have to do. And it works the same way as we just did before. 아무 noun 이나, any noun in a positive sentence. 아무 noun 도, any noun in a negative sentence. So think about that for a second. I'm just going to check the chat for a bit. Is it all one word? No, this will be spaced. That's a good question. So you're actually going to have a space between 아무 and this noun here. So if you were to say like 아무 과자 or 아무 집 like we had before, it'd be 아무 space, then noun. So yeah, I should add I should also add there's a little space here between amu and the noun, but not between the noun and the particle that comes after it. So this is the basic concept. This is all you really need to know to say anything, any noun. Well, anything sounds like it would be a really useful word, right? What is the word for thing in Korean? 것, right? 것 for thing. Well, you can say 아무것이나, 아무것이나, anything. However, 99% of the time, when Korean people use 것 in conversation, they just use it as 거. 거. Same word, just shorter, easier to say. So you can say 아무거나, and then say anything, and then something positive. Or 아무것. It goes back to 것 when it's used with 도. So you could say 아무것도, and then something in a negative sentence, as in anything is not. We'll talk about that in a second, but first let's look at 아무거나. So we'll talk about both of those. And first we're going to talk about 아무거나. Now, when it's 아무거나, it's actually written as one word. Because it's so commonly used, it just became attached into one word. Although normally when it's used with a noun, there will be a space. This one is just written like this. 아무거나. 아무거나. Anything, right? Thing, because 것 means thing. And since it ends with the na, we know that this is going to be only used in a positive sentence, right? So we're not going to say 아무거나, I didn't eat anything, because that would be negative. We're going to use a different word for that. I like anything. Anything, let me think. Just, let me find an example. Give me anything, right? Give me anything. Actually, I want you guys to make that sentence. Please give me anything. So you go to the, you go trick-or-treating and someone's giving out candy. And he's like, well, which would you like? We've got these Smarties over here. We've got the lollipops over here. We have chocolate over here. And you just want to say, just give me anything, please. Just give me anything. Positive. Please give me anything. How would you say that? Oh, you guys are fast. You're writing that even before I finish talking. Tiffany, stay. Oh, Samuel. Samuel, you have a typo, but what you said is correct. 아무거나 괜찮아. Anything's okay. 아무거나 괜찮아요. 아무거나 좀 주세요. 아무거나 주세요. Yeah, 좀 주세요. 아무거나 주세요. 아무거나 주세요. Nice, nice. 아무거나 골라요. Yeah, pick anything you want. Choose anything you want. But except you wrote, Tiffany Staymaker, you wrote cola. You wrote cola like Coca-Cola. You want to use cola, cola, not cola. It's not a strong letter, but a regular consonant. So yeah, 아무거나 골라요. 아무거나 주세요. So you could say something like that. You could say something like just 아무거나 주세요. Please give me anything. Literally, 아무것, anything, na, is positive here, a positive sentence. 주세요. So give me anything. Okay, oh, I got another addition. Oh, Leon. Hey, Leon. Thanks, Leon. A duplicate. Nice. Appreciate the support. Thank you. Okay, so we've done that example, but we're not done. We have a lot more to cover. Don't worry. Okay. I'm just making sure I got everything. I'll give some more examples. Don't worry. Okay. So next, if we learn that 아무거나 means anything in a positive situation, then I kind of already told this to you, but just in case you weren't listening, how would I say anything in a negative sentence? Like, I didn't eat anything. I didn't eat anything. I don't like anything. You can write it. I'm just going to tell you what it is in this case. So if you want to use it in the negative sense, it's not 아무것, but it becomes 아무것도. So since we have 도, just like before, it's only used in a negative sentence. And this also means anything, even, literally, even anything. But you can think of this as meaning either anything or nothing. Nothing. Like, I didn't eat anything or I ate nothing. In Korean would be the same thing. 아무것도. And then you'd have a negative verb to finish the sentence. So how would you say something like, let me see if I even have an example. Okay, we'll make one up. I didn't eat anything. How would you say I didn't eat anything? I didn't eat anything. Or I ate nothing. So someone says, hey, did you have lunch? 식사했어요? 식사하다 meaning to eat something. 식사했어요? Did you eat? And you say, 아니요, I didn't eat anything. 아직, still, or yet, 아직, 아무것도, what would you say? 아무것도 안 하고 있어요. I'm not doing anything. Okay. 아무것도 안 먹고. Not finished. The sentence isn't finished there. 먹지 않아요. I do not eat anything. If you said 지 않아요. We want past tense. Yes, yes. 아무것도 안, if you say 리울레, if you say 아무것도 안 먹어요, that means I do not eat anything, like now or, in general. So yeah, I don't eat anything. So if your friend says, how did you lose so much weight? You can say 아무것도 안 먹어요. I don't eat anything, right? But what we're making right now is I didn't eat anything. So we need past tense. 아무것도, even anything, 안 먹었어요. Or you can say 먹지 않았어요 if you want. Same thing. 아무것도 안 먹었어요. I did not eat even anything, literally. I did not eat anything, or I ate, if you want to translate it this way, I ate nothing. I didn't eat anything. 아무것도 안 먹었어요. 아무것도 안 먹었어요. Now, you could not say 아무거나 안 먹었어요. That doesn't make sense. You could say 아무거나 먹었어요. I just ate anything. Like I just ate whatever. I just ate anything like that. So here we have 아무것도 안 먹었어요. I did not eat even anything. I didn't even eat anything, literally. Again, only with negatives because it's 도. So again, remember, 아무거나 or 아무것도. Keep that in mind. Okay. Let's add this in. Adding in the sentences to mark that I did it. Okay. But there's a lot more. We're not done, guys. There's a lot more to do. Okay. So going back to our basic form, 아무 is an adjective. So it can be used with nouns and then combined with either 이, 나 in a positive sense or 도 in a negative sense. You can say anything you want here for noun. We've used it with just those examples of 것. But in fact, when you use it with 것, it actually changes. Remember, it becomes one word. It sticks together and it changes the spelling, like 거나 or 것도, like that. This, however, does not have any other special rules. It's just 아무 space noun, 이나, and 도, just like before. So there are a lot, and I mean a lot, of words you can use here. You can literally put any noun. I mean, how many nouns are there? What can you say any of in English? Any cactus, any wall, any computer, any person. You could even literally say again, person if you want. Any light, any room, anything. Anything can go in here. But there are a couple more that I want to point out. They're not special cases. They're just very common. The first one is 때. 때 means time. 때. Like it's the same 때 as when you say when you do something. 할 때, 하다 becoming 할 때. It's that same 때. Now this 때 is normally not used by itself. So you're not going to be saying 때가 있어요. I have time. That doesn't make any sense. This 때 is only used in combination with other grammar forms. But 아무 때 would mean, well, any time. Now, do you want to say, let's meet anytime? Well, then you'd say 아무 때나 because it's positive. If you said, let me see if I have an example of here or not. If you were to say anything negative, pretty much, like whatever, anytime, I did not or I can't, then you would just use it with 아무때도. Though most of the time you're going to see this just with 아무때나. So let me give you an example of 아무때. Okay. This is a super common expression that you'll see. 아무때나 괜찮아요. Literally, any time, 나, positive, 괜찮아요. Fine, okay. Any time is okay. So when your teacher asks you, when can we meet? I want to talk to you about your grades. You're failing every class. You can be like, 아무 때나 괜찮아요. Any time is okay. Just like that. 아무 때나 괜찮아요. 아무 때. Literally, any. Adjective. Time, a noun. Any time. 나. Positive sentence now. 아무 때나 괜찮아요. Any time is okay. 아무 때나 괜찮아요. Any time is okay. Okay. But there's still a little bit more. There's another word that looks like it, but it's not the same. 대. This is not the same as 때. Pronunciation. 때. 때. It has the double letter. 때. 대. 대. 때. 아무 때. 아무 대. 아무 대. Okay. 아무 데나. 대 means a place. Any place. Or you might want to translate this as anywhere. Any location. Literally any place. So 아무 데나 can mean anywhere in a positive sentence. 데나. So here's an example of that. 상자 means box, just any box. 상자를 아무 데나 box object marker 아무 any place 데나 놓다. I'm just going to write it down here so you can write it down. 놓다 means to put down. 놓다, to put something down on the ground, like to put something down somewhere. It doesn't have to be the ground, but it could be on top of a table, but it's putting something down. And when it conjugates, 놓다 can become either 놓아, but this is most often pronounced quickly in Korean and also spelled as just 놔, as one word. And in fact, Koreans will sometimes even go further and just say it almost like 나, though it's not quite this strong. But yeah, you can write it as 놓아 if you want, or 놔. Both are okay. I just want to give you guys a note because I'm going to write it as 놔. 놓아 주세요. So literally, please put it down. Please put down the box 아무 데나, any place, or literally just anywhere. Please put down the box anywhere. So your brother is helping you move into your new apartment, and he's like, where should I put this box? Well, okay, maybe not your brother because you're really being polite. Okay, a moving company employee is moving your apartment, and you walk into your new place, and he asks you, where should I put this? And you say, 상자를 아무 데나 놔주세요. Just put it anywhere. Put the box in any 아무 데나, in any place. So put it anywhere. 상자를 아무 데나 놔주세요. Oh, we're not done. There's more. There's a little more. Okay. And we're not even halfway done. There's still like more stuff I want to cover for this lesson. All right. 아무 때나, 아무 때나. Yes, okay, now we've covered all those. I'm going to go back to, before we go on, there's a couple more. Before we go on, I want to give you a few more examples of the 아무나 and 아무도. So, 이런, this kind of. So this kind of thing, 것. 것은 becomes 건. 이런 건. 아무나. I want you to finish this sentence by saying anyone can do this. This kind of thing, whatever it is, maybe this homework or this kind of job, this kind of task, this kind of game, anything. 이런 건, 이런 것은 아무나, anyone can do it. Finish that sentence and this sentence. Nobody likes chicken. Nobody likes chicken. That's totally a lie. Everybody likes chicken. But let's just say no one likes chicken for this example. 이런 건 아무나, and 치킨을 아무도, Go ahead and give these a try. Let's check the chat. 할 수 있어요. 할 수 있어요. Tiffany, stay my day. I'm not sure why you put 좋다. 좋다 is a descriptive verb and therefore can never have an object. 치킨을 아무도 안 좋아해요. Nice. Well, 안 좋아해요. I'm just reading some of your guys' replies. Bay1. 아무도 좋아하지 않아요. Nice. Amaldine, Alexandre. Again, 안 좋다, 좋다 is a descriptive verb, which means it's not an action verb, it's not doing anything. It is just describing something as good. Therefore, it can never use the object marker because there is no object. It's not affecting anything. It can only use a different marker, like subject marker or topic marker, for example. But it could never use the object marker. You can't say 치킨을 좋아요. Doesn't make any sense because 좋다 is to be good. So you'd be saying good chickens. Good does good chicken. It doesn't make any sense in Korean. I'm trying to give an example in English, but it doesn't even make sense in English. So, okay. 이런 건 아무나 할 수 있어요. So literally, 아무나, anyone, 나, positive sentence. 할 수 있어요. Can do it. Anyone can do it. Well, what can they do? 이런 것. 이런 건, this kind of thing. As for this kind of thing, 아무나 할 수 있어요. Anyone can do this kind of thing. Yeah, this kind of thing. 이런 건 아무나 할 수 있어요. Anyone can do this kind of thing, you know. 치킨을 아무도 안 좋아해요. No one likes chicken. 치킨을 아무도 안 좋아해요. 아무도, even anyone, not even anyone. No one likes chicken, or literally, not even anyone doesn't like chicken. Not anyone doesn't like chicken. Yeah, it's weird in English, but it makes perfect sense in Korean. 치킨을 아무도 안 좋아해요. Nobody likes chicken. Okay, let me see. I did that. All right, so let's do some more examples. We're not done, actually. Okay, back to 아무. Well, we have some more things we can do with it. Let me just write the example sentence. I think you could probably get it. 너무 놀라서. This is surprised. You don't need to learn this separately. But anyway, so surprised, or for whatever reason, so because of whatever, 아무 말. 아무 말. 말 means words, or word. So any words. Well, 아무 말도. It's going to be a negative sentence. I don't, I didn't, I could not, I will not, anything like that. 너무 놀라서. I'm so surprised that 아무 말도 하지 못하다. Unable to. 하지 못했어요. Or you could just say 못했어요. 아무 말도 못했어요 is also fine. Just like that. 너무 놀라서, or for whatever reason, because I was too surprised, I was too shocked. Wow, I was so surprised. 아무 말도, any word. Now, in Korean, when you're talking about what someone says, you would say 말. However, in English, we just say thing. I couldn't say anything, right? In English, we say thing for something that someone says. But in Korean, for something that someone says, they don't say 것, they say 말, literally. So you said something strange. Well, in Korean, they say some 말, 이상한 말, like that. So that's just a note. So that's why I say 아무 말도 하지 못했어요. Literally, I could not, 하지 못했어요. 아무, any, 말, words, 도, even. I couldn't say anything, or I couldn't say any words, literally. Because I was so surprised. 너무 놀라서 아무 말도 하지 못했어요. I was so surprised I couldn't say anything, or literally, I could not say even any words. And another example. Okay, and this is the last one for this basic form. 그냥, just. Okay, 그냥, 아무, any, 봉지. 봉지 is a bag. A bag, like a plastic bag you get, or a paper bag, or something like that, some sort of bag. 봉지. Typically, 봉지 would be the word for like a bag you get at the supermarket, that sort of bag. Not a handbag. That would be 가방, like an actual bag you store stuff in, not that. This is just like the disposable grocery store bag. So 아무 봉지, just any bag. Notice, we didn't use here 나, because it's not doing anything. We're not saying I didn't buy it, I didn't get it, I don't see it. We're now going to say in any bag. 아무 봉지에. 넣다 means to put something inside, to insert something. So you put your card into the ATM. 넣다. You put something inside of a bag. 넣다. 봉지에 넣어주세요. Please put it, something, whatever it is we're talking about, please put it into, in, any bag. 그냥, just put it in any bag. Just throw it in any bag. So someone says, where would you like me to put your can of beans? And you have a bunch of bags in the grocery store. You can just say it. 그냥, just 아무 봉지, any bag. You're not saying 아무 봉지나 괜찮아요. You're not saying any bag is okay. You're not saying 아무 봉지도 없어요. There is no bag. There are no bags. There is not any bag. You're not saying that. You're saying put it in any bag. 아무 봉지에 넣어주세요. Please put it in, literally, any bag. Just like that. Please put it in any bag. Like, I don't care. Just please put it in 아무 봉지에, any bag. Okay, that's the last sentence for this form. We're going to be moving on. 아무도, yeah. Okay. And if you want more examples with 아무, make sure to check out the worksheet for this live stream, which you can download right now. And there are a few more sentences with 아무. All right, we're not done with 아무 though, but we are done with just 아무. But there's another one we're going to talk about that looks similar. 아무튼. This is not any. Well, literally, yes, but this does not mean any. 아무튼 is a word that is just used in speech at the beginning of a sentence, or you can write it too. It just means anyway when you want to start a sentence and you want to add some contrast to what you were saying before. So you start talking, you're like, blah, 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 and I saw this and I saw this. Okay. 아무튼, Anyway, now I'm going to talk about this totally different thing. 아무튼. In casual speech, this is shortened to often just becoming, let me write that again. In casual speech, you'll also see this just shortened as 아무튼. It's the same thing as 아무튼. So 아무튼, anyway, or 아무튼 in casual speech. Same thing. There are other forms of this though. So you might be thinking, well, I've seen other forms like 하여튼 or 여하튼 or 어쨌든. We'll talk about those really quick. 아무튼 is just a regular spoken colloquial way to say anyway. If, however, you want to sound more fancy, you're not going to use 아무튼 in an essay. You're not going to use 아무튼 in a speech. 아무튼's just like anyway. It's just more of a spoken sounding expression. If you want to be fancy and you want to write something or give a speech, typically Koreans will use 하여튼 or even 여하튼. The same thing. 하여튼 is a bit more common though of those two. 하여튼. Anyway. Anyhow. 여하튼. Same thing. Anyhow. Anyways. And then the next point I would like to make in my study, like that. So 하여튼 or 여하튼 are the same meaning. 아무튼 is more just spoken. Or you might also see sorry, I think I wrote that all weird. This Tigut looks really, really sad. Rewrite that. 어쨌든. 어쨌든. 어쨌든 is also not a formal, fancy expression like 하여튼 or 여하튼. 어쨌든 is spoken. It's fine to say in casual speech, but it has a more fancier sound than 아무튼. 아무튼 is pretty straightforward, plain spoken. 어쨌든 is a little bit more fancy, still not formal, but more fancy sounding like, I'm trying, it's sounds a little bit nicer. 어쨌든. But these all have the same meaning and the same use besides that. So yeah, you might see either of these. Let me give you an example. How are you guys following along, by the way? Is this okay? I hope I'm not going too fast. No, Cordy June. As I said, it means anyway. Like this, at the beginning of a sentence. Notice how I capitalized A. So I mentioned it's only at the beginning of a sentence. You're not going to use this as I'm going anyway. That's different. That's either way. That's a different expression. That's not using 아무튼. So that would be for a different lesson, or maybe after the lesson during the Q&A. 아무튼, anyway, at the beginning of a sentence when you want to start talking about something new. 아무튼 잘 끝나서. Literally, 끝나다 means to finish. So something finished. Something's over. Something has ended. 잘. It's ended well. Like everything worked out well. 잘 끝나서. Because everything worked out well. Everything's finished now and it's nice and finished. Everything is nice and finished. 잘 끝나서. Therefore, because of that, 다행이다. 다행이다 means to be fortunate. But if you say something if you say, let me say it again. 다행이다 means to be fortunate. But if you say something 서 다행이다 and conjugate it, it means I am glad that something happens. I am glad for something. I am glad that something happened or whatever like that. So here, 아무튼 anyway, 잘 끝나서. It finished. It's all over now. 다행이에요. It is fortunate. Or more naturally, anyway, I'm glad it's all over now. 아무튼 anyway, 잘 끝나서 다행이에요. 아무튼 잘 끝나서 다행이에요. I'm glad it's over. Anyway, I'm glad it's all over. Like that. 아무튼 잘 끝나서 다행이에요. And for those of you who just missed it, I said that if you have anything with a verb with 서 form, so this would be the conjugated verb plus 서, then 다행이다. Literally, it is fortunate because that. But that's one way to say it is. That's one way to say I'm glad that. Anyway, I'm glad it's over. I'm glad that happened like that. Okay. That's all for 아무튼, because like I said, 아무튼 is just one word. But we're not done with 아무 things. We still got to do more amu things. And of course I'm low on time, but that's okay. The next one is amudi. Amudi. Now, amudi is used together with a conjugated verb. By conjugated, I mean the a, all, or etc. form. So hada would become he, kada just becomes ka, 먹다 becomes 먹어. And you can watch a different live stream if you want to learn about how that works, because I've already explained those before. Amudi, verb conjugated, plus do. So, amudi with hada. amudi 해, 도. 먹다. amudi 먹어, 도. Like that. That's how it works. What this means is no matter how or no matter how much verb. So if it's an action verb, that would be no matter how much you do that verb, or if it's a descriptive verb, no matter how much that verb is or how much you are that verb or whatever like that. So no matter how much verb is what it literally means. And this is a super common form that you'll see everywhere in Korean. So I'm going to erase all of this. So just write it down really quick. Amudi, conjugated verb, 도. So no matter how much verb, and let me give you an example sentence of that. Let's do it with 바쁘다. 아무리 바빠 normally becomes 바빠. Well, now we add 바빠도. Literally, no matter how much busy, no matter how busy you are. 아무리 바빠도. 밥 means cooked rice, but it's also just used to say a meal or food. 밥은 먹어요. No matter how busy you are. 아무리 바빠도. No matter how busy you are, no matter how busy, literally. 밥은, when it comes to food, 먹어요. You eat. No matter how busy you are, 아무리 바빠도 밥은 먹어요. You eat. No matter how busy you are, you'll eat, right? 아무리 바빠도 밥은 먹어요. No matter how busy you are, you eat. Let's do another one. 배가, so my stomach, 배가 아무리 고프다. 고프다, 배가 고프다 means to be hungry. So 배가 아무리 고파도. So no matter how hungry you are. Put that over there. Oops, throw that away. Okay. No matter how hungry you are. 배가 아무리 고파도. Well, what could come after this? You could put pretty much anything. Like, no matter how hungry you are, there's no way I'm going to eat, the SpaghettiOs, right? 배가 아무리 고파도 스파게티오를 안 먹어요, right? No matter how hungry I am, well, what else? What could you say? You could say a lot of things. Well, here, let's say 이건, as in 이것은, this thing, 이건, no matter how hungry I am, 이건, as for this thing, 먹지 마세요. So no matter how hungry, 배가 아무리 고파도, no matter how hungry you are, 이건, as for this thing, 먹지 마세요. 먹지 마세요. Don't eat it. No matter how hungry you are, don't eat this. Okay? 배가 아무리 고파도 이건 먹지 마세요. 배가 아무리 고파도 이건 먹지 마세요. No matter how hungry you are, don't eat this. Okay? 배가 아무리 고파도 이건 먹지 마세요. And for those of you who are more intermediate, you probably already noticed, but 아무리 is an adverb. Okay. Let me check the chat for a second. 아무리 피곤, nope. Remember, it's conjugated verb. 피곤 is not conjugated verb. Babies like charsu. Yes. Okay. 아무리 바빠도 밥은 먹어야 돼요. Yeah, you can say that too. All right. So, I didn't miss. Someone said donation. I didn't miss one, did I? Oh, I missed a donation. I didn't even see it. Someone said donation. I'm like, donation? Did I miss one? Wow. I see it's like bright red at the top. It doesn't make the board flash because the stickers don't work with for some reason the stickers don't get sent properly over YouTube. Whoa, Becca. Becca, you're going to get a special producer credit. Becca Lynn. Yeah, you get a special producer credit at the end of the video. Wow, thank you. I'll also write you over here. That's awesome. That totally covers my internet. And yeah, crossing my fingers, knock on wood, but since I've done my internet upgrade a couple months ago, or two months ago, I think, since I've upgraded my internet, we've had much better streaming experience with this stream and just in general. So yeah, it's been much better. Yeah, thank you so much. I got to do a super dab. That's a huge donation. I got to do super dab for that. So let's see. Yeah. Oh wait, that's a bit much. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Becca. You're an excellent teacher. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I do. All of the stuff goes to donations. All the donations, everything I get goes to usually like equipment, upgrades, general stuff like that. So yeah, it's not getting wasted. It goes to a good use. Thank you. Okay, the next one we're gonna do. So that's Amudi, and that's more of a low intermediate, maybe high beginner concept. The next concept we're gonna be doing is kind of going more into the intermediate level. Still low intermediate though, I'd say at most. And that is, the next one we're gonna do is Amuredo. Amuredo. Amuredo is actually related directly with Amudi. It's a combined, it's a combined form. It comes from a form using Amudi. What it means is, I want you guys to translate this. 아무리 생각해도. What does this mean? Translate it in the chat. What does 아무리 생각해도 mean? 아무리 생각해도 becomes compressed to just be 아무래도. This is the same meaning. 아무래도 means 아무리 생각해도. What does that mean? Jiminy, 아무리 부자일지라도 여전히 공부에 집중해야 돼요. You have to focus on your studying no matter how much of a rich person you are. All right? No matter how much you think. I'd say not no matter what you think, but no matter how much you think is better. Yeah. So no matter how much verb, right? Or no matter how verb, depending on the verb. So no matter how much you think, or no matter how much I think. 아무리 생각해도. Literally, no matter how much I think about it. Like that. Now, this literally can mean no matter how much I think about it. But there are better ways to translate it. No matter how much I think about it. And you're not going to use 아무리 생각해도. You're going to use just 아무래도. It could mean no matter how much you think about it. No matter how much I think about it. Or it can also mean somehow, and this is the same meaning. These are just other ways you'll translate it in English to make it sound more natural. Somehow is another possible translation. Or my personal favorite. This is my personal favorite way to translate it because I think it captures the feeling really well. I think, as in, I still think, right? Like someone shares their opinion and you're like, well, I still think something. I still think that. Now, you don't have to translate still. sometimes this form will just translate as I think, because it literally means no matter how much I think about it, well, I think something. It's the same thing. But you might want to translate it as I still think. Well, I still think such and such. So let's do an example of this. Probably got to change my marker again. Okay. 아무래도 제가 oops. Rewrite this 가. 아무래도 제가 가야 되겠어요. Shortens to 가야겠어요. But let me just going to write it down here so I have space because I don't want to make it really small. 가야겠어요. 아무래도 제가 가야겠어요. 아무래도 제가 가야겠어요. Literally, no matter how much I think about it, I need to leave. I should leave. No matter how much I think about it, I should leave. It doesn't sound very natural, but yeah, literally it means that. And it makes sense. Or somehow I need to leave. Somehow could work in some situations. I think though, I think I need to leave. I think I need to leave. Or I still think I need to leave. If you're trying to emphasize that you already have thought about it and then you want to say it again, 아무래도, I still think I should leave. I still think I should go. 아무래도 제가 가야겠어요. I still think I should leave. Like that. Like maybe you start an argument with your family. Maybe you wouldn't be with your family. You start an argument somewhere. And it's all resolved and you feel okay and everyone's good. And I mean, no, well, everything's okay now. But your friend's like, hey, stick around. And you're like, 아무래도 제가 가야겠어요. I still think I should leave. Like that. This literally does not mean like I am still thinking that I need to leave, but I still think, as in my opinion is, as usual, I need to leave. In that sense. 아무래도, no matter how much I think about it, though, 제가 가야겠어요. I need to leave. I still think, or just I think. I think, as in I've been thinking about it, and I think about it. I'm thinking, I think I need to leave. So I think I should leave. 아무래도 제가 가야겠어요. I still think I should leave. Okay. And let's see. Let's do one more. 선물, a present. 선물을 받았는데 받았어요. I got a present. 받았는데 I got a present, but these markers are just, these erasers are just terrible. I should probably replace it again. I just replaced it last week, but they don't last very long. Okay, 선물을 받았는데, so I got a gift, I got a present. 아무래도, so I got a present, but no matter how much I think about it, still I think. 돌려주다, I'll write it here. 돌려주다 means to return, as in to give back. 돌려주다, to return to someone, as in to give it back to someone. So to give back the present. 돌려주다. 돌려줘야, have to. 요야. Can we still read down here? 할, nope. 돌려줘야. Let's see, how can I write this here? 할 것 같아요. I can do it. There we go. It's very small. 선물을 받았는데, well, I got a gift, but 받았는데, 아무래도, no matter how much I think about it, or still I think, 돌려줘야 할 것 같아요. I think I will need to give it back. So I got a gift, but I still think I need to give it back. I will need to give it back to them. 선물을 받았는데, I got a gift, but 아무래도 I still think that 돌려줘야 할 것 같아요. I'll need to give it back to them. So I got a gift, but I think I should give it back. 선물을 받았는데 아무래도 돌려줘야 될 것 같아요. Sorry. 되다. It's 하다. 아무래도 돌려줘야 할 것 같아요. I got a gift, but I think I need to give it back. Okay, but we're not done. However, this eraser is done. So let me take a 1-minute break and replace this eraser. And then we'll come back with some intermediate stuff. Okay, new eraser. There we go. It's only going to last one day as well. Let's see. Oops, just wrote on myself. No. Okay. Next, we're going to be doing something that's... Oh, this is just a note. Okay, so I said it's amu, noun, and then plus either ina or plus do. Well, you can actually have a particle here. You can actually do other particles. I'm not going to be going into all of those, but one of the most common ones you're going to see is 한테 or 에게, as in to. 아무 안테 or 아무 에게. And this would also be used with 나 or 도 if it's in a positive sentence or if it's in a negative sentence. Anytime you want to add any other particle, it goes between 아무 and 나 or 도. It does not go 아무 나 안테, 아무도 안테. Never. It would always be 아무 안테 나, 아무 안테 도. So, again, any. There is no noun here, so it's going to be a person. Anyone, any person. How would I say, don't give it to anyone? Try to make this sentence. Don't give it to anyone. So that's the only note I wanted to say, is that anytime you have it used with a particle, such as ante or ege, it is used between amu and na or to. But go ahead and try to make that sentence. All right, and then I'll go on to the next concept. Our last concept is, but go ahead and give it your best shot. Jiminy, nice. Jiminy Pabo. Not a very appropriate name. You're not a Pabo. You got it right. Remember, toluwanimi. Remember that this is, anytime you're saying, well, actually, let me say that again. For this example, you're trying to say to anyone. Don't give it to anyone. So you can't say amudo because it's not, nobody is not doing anything. You're saying to nobody. So you need to have that particle to, 에게 or ante. 아무한테도 주지 마세요. Yes. Tiffany Stay, you were kind of close. You're kind of close. You missed to at the end of there. But you don't need to say 분. You actually don't need to say person whenever you're using amu. Just amu means by itself already any person. 아무한테도 주지 마세요. Yeah, this one's pretty straightforward. I won't say simple because it's only simple if you completely understand the concept. 아무한테 도. Now we have it's 도, so it's going to be a negative. 주지 마세요 or 주지 마 or whatever you want to say. So you could tell your best friend, 아무한테도 주지 마. Don't give this to anyone. Literally, do not give it even to anyone. Don't give it to anyone. Give it to nobody, like that. 아무한테도 주지 마세요. Don't give it to anyone. Okay. And you could do a lot more with that. Like I said, if we could do a full 2-hour live stream just about more uses of amu. But I've covered all of the ways to use it. But that, I'm saying there are so many different nouns that you can use with amu that it would be impossible to cover. Like amu book, whatever, light, anything can work with amu. But yeah, I'd encourage you to practice amu. You can also practice and put your sentences in the Discord chat and ask other people if it's correct. All right, one more thing we're going to do before we're done, and that is an intermediate topic about the verb amurota. Amurota. So let's talk about amurota. Now this is an intermediate concept. Amurota, or amurohada. Now amurohada is not very common. Amurohada is the same thing as amurota, but you can think of it as a combination. This hiyat moved down here, and this went away, and now you're left with amurota. That's what it is. It's the same thing. Amurota is to be in any sort of state. You don't need to know that though. You just need to know how it's used. There are a couple different ways that it's used. The first of which is in a negative form. I'll show you. 아무렇지 않다, which you can then conjugate. 아무렇지 않다. Literally, to not be in any state. I'm going to write this down though. As in state, I don't mean like California. I mean like situation, like that's so like a state of being bad, a state of being good, a state of being happy, sad. Anything like that is considered a state. So this is no state, to not be in any state. By this, it actually means to be fine or to be unaffected. Like if you were to say, well, he or whatever is completely unaffected. He's totally fine. As in, he's not in any sort of specific state that you would need to comment on. Like he's not messed up. There's no sort of state about him. Don't worry about it. Completely he's fine, unaffected. Nothing has changed. There is no special state to him. 아무렇지 않아요. 아무렇지 않아요. That kind of thing is just 아무렇지 않아요. It's no big deal. It's fine. It's unaffected. No problem with that. This is just one way you can see it. But there's actually a more important 아무렇다 form that I want to talk about. Just giving you the translation for this. Okay. When this is used as an adjective though, 아무렇다 is a descriptive verb, but it can be conjugated into an adjective. And when it is, you get something that looks like 아무런. Now, 아무런 means any, just like before, but it's more like any kind of, and it's also used with a noun and 이나 or 도, just like before. So you can say 아무, noun, 이나 or 도, or you can say 아무런, noun, 이나 or 도. It has the same meaning. You're either saying any noun or any kind of noun. 아무런. Other than that, it's the exact same thing as 아무 when it's used with a noun in this sense. However, 아무런 is not used to say, 아무런 would not be used by itself to mean any person. So that's the difference. You can't say 아무런 이나, 아무런 도. That doesn't mean anyone or any person like that. This is only used with nouns. So this is less common, but this is if you wanted to say like, well, I didn't buy any computer. No, you wouldn't say that. I didn't buy 아무 컴퓨터도 안 샀어요. Well, yeah, I guess you could say, did you go to the store? Yeah, I did. What computer did you buy? 아무 컴퓨터도 안 샀어요. I didn't buy any computer. But you can even say 아무런 컴퓨터도 안 샀어요. I didn't even buy any kind of computer. I didn't buy anything like that. This is just more emphatic to show you mean any, not just any of that individual item, but any kind of that item as well. 아무런. So yeah, only used with nouns because this is only an adjective that does not mean any person, but only anything, any noun. And then it's a bit more emphatic than just saying 아무. So that's the only other note that I wanted to give you about that. It's more intermediate. You won't need this so much, but you will see it. You might see something like 아무런 일, like something that happened. 아무런 일도 없었다. Like not only 아무 일도 없었다, not only 아무 일도 없었다 means there wasn't anything, like nothing happened. 아무런, not even anything. It's more emphatic. There wasn't even anything here. 아무런 일도 없었다. There wasn't even anything like an 일, like an occurrence. There wasn't even any kind of that. So it's just more emphatic. Okay, so that is the end of the lesson for today. And I feel hot. Let me turn on my, make sure my air conditioner is going. And for a little bit, we're going to be, like someone said, like being unbothered. Yeah, it can be like being unbothered. Like no big deal, nothing's going on. It is not even hot in here. It's only 76. Why do I feel hot? It's not even hot in here. Oh, I got a new Patreon. Nice. Pennote, P-A-N-O-T. I don't know how to read that. Pennote, welcome. New Patreon. All right, so that is it for today's lesson. But as usual, I'm going to do a Q&A for about 15 minutes until 3:30. So if you have any questions related to the lesson or related to Korean, then feel free to ask them now. If you don't, quick announcements before you leave. Again, remember the worksheet for this lesson is already available. So if you feel like, Billy, I want some more practice, I want some more examples with this, well, check out the worksheet. It's got like 10 or 12 or something. I think it's 10. More examples using amu that are even higher level than this that you can practice with right now. And if you wait about 30 minutes, you can check my Patreon and you can get access to this outline from today's lesson, which has all of the sentences that we did, as well as the explanations and everything like that. So, other announcements are, again, oh yeah, also make sure to join the Discord channel if you want updates for the next live stream, which will be on Sunday again. Next Sunday, there will be another one. And yeah, feel free to ask any questions. Thanks for coming, everyone. Carrie Rich, thank you, Billy. Yeah, thank you as well for your donation. Oh yeah, before everyone goes, also I wanted to say an extra thanks to today's supporters, Cheryl, Alex Full Metal, Leon, Will, Carrie, and Becca, our producer for today as well. So you'll see your name at the end of the lesson. Like some of the lessons have the producer credit at the end. How should I go about memorizing vocab? It feels really overwhelming. Pom, check out, there's a video about that on my channel because it would be a very long explanation here. But I did do a lesson on my channel, a video about how to memorize vocabulary and when you should. But I don't recommend focusing on it. I recommend focusing more on grammar than vocabulary. Because vocabulary, no matter how much you know, you can't use it unless you have the grammar to back it up. So I never recommend starting with vocabulary studies. When you get to like a high intermediate level, then I think it's really useful to focus on vocabulary. But until then, it's just not as useful. There are better uses of your time. What's a good resource for listening practice? Oh, let me answer this question real quick. What's a good resource for listening practice? I think Podbang, or Podbang, if you search in English, and it's got podcasts that you can check out. It's the website, Padbbang. Chris, oh, wow. Wow, thank you, Chris. Oh. 정말 감사합니다. I have been confused about amu for like the last 2 years. Wow, you made it so simple. Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. Let me just do a dab for that. That's really big donation. I'm gonna like break something someday. Thank you. Ocean Discovery. 쭈그리다, 쪼그리다. Yeah, you can have lots of words like that have the exact same meaning, but just a different intonation. I did a video, actually, Ocean Discovery, on my channel about vowel harmony. Let me see if it's still... I think I uploaded it. I did so many Korean FAQ videos. I'm not sure if... Yeah, I'm not sure if I uploaded all of them. I think I did that one though. Yeah, check my channel for vowel harmony. And there are often going to be several words, or at least 2 words for some of those expressions. The one that has the, which I say, bright vowel, o, ah, those types of things are going to be the more of a light feeling, like crouching down. And then the one with a u, e, are considered dark vowels, and those ones have more of a dark sound to them, so more of a large sound, more of a heavy sound. So like 죽으리다 would have like more of a negative intonation, but in that case, I think they're both fine. Don't break the tab. But you'll find hundreds of examples like that. Like there are 2 words that mean the exact same thing. What's the difference? Well, oftentimes the one that has the dark vowels will have a more negative meaning to it. Sometimes that can even go as far as making a word like a swear word. Other times it can just make the word just sound stronger. So like you would have a word that normally means something light and happy, and then you have another version of it that means more like dark and sad, that kind of thing. Like, well, let me think. Oh yeah, like a quick example, 노랗다 for to be yellow. Well, there's also, I believe it's 누렇다 for to be yellow, and that's more of like a dark yellow, like a blah, 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 yellow, like a gross yellow. 노랗다 is like a bright yellow. That's not a great example of it. I think it's still up. Yeah, the video's still up. Okay. Sorry, yeah, because I have like 20 more Korean FAQs in the queue coming up, and I'm not sure which ones I've uploaded and which one I haven't yet. Okay, Ocean Discover. I'll watch the vowel harmony. Yeah, I definitely recommend checking that out. Oh, I see. Jojo asked the same thing, though. How can I practice? How can I study listening? And that's what I said, do lots of listening. So even I still do Korean listening practice every day. I'll listen to Korean speaking about different topics. Lately, I started watching a YouTuber who plays horror games just for listening practice. Yeah. Let's see. Chocolate banana. I didn't know what you asked. What are the subject pronouns? Oh yeah, check out my channel, Chocolate Banana. I have videos about that. I also have live streams about that. So you can find that in the Google document I linked in my community tab in my channel. 원해 고 싶다. Jojo, check out my channel. There's a video called Want. And it's one of my first videos, actually. It talks about how to say you want something. And 원하다 is not used. It makes sense. It's okay to use it. But it's a very straightforward way of saying, I want that. And that's not how Korean people will just express naturally, like, I want something. Yeah, I want that. I want to buy that. And 고 싶다 is a verb ending used with verbs to say I want to do something. I want to do that verb. 원하다 is just I want that, as in expressing your desires and nothing else. Jiminy Pabo, thank you. Yeah, thanks for coming. Can state only be negative? Can state be pure joy? After eating chicken, for example. Yeah, a state can be anything. But in the expression 아무렇지 않다, you're specifically talking about a negative state. There is no negative state, is what you're saying. What is the sequence of the grammar lessons? I'm not sure what you mean. Are you talking about the live streams? The live streams are in no order. But there is the Google document you can find in the community tab, which has all of them listed. If you don't know where to start, you can check my channel has a video called How to Start Learning Korean, or After Hangul, what to do next after you've learned the alphabet. And I give guides for that. If you're okay learning more slowly, I did start a new video course, but I'm not recommending that one so strongly yet because it's not finished uploading yet. I've only uploaded like episode, I think 16 just yesterday, and there's going to be a total of over 100 when it's finished. So when it's finished, then I'll really start recommending that one as a place to get started. But right now, it's not finished yet. So you can also try my books. You can try Talk to Me in Korean. You can Google free Korean lessons and search whatever websites are out there. Just make sure you use a curriculum. Use something that's in order. Don't ever just watch random lessons because you'll have so many gaps in your learning. You won't know where you should go next. Allison's asking about the lir. I have a full video about how to pronounce the lir on my channel in the Korean FAQ series, so check that out. It's a 6-minute video, and I go into detail about the tongue position and everything like that. 빌리 선생님 가르쳐서 You got my tongue twisted. 가르쳐서, 쳐서. 가르쳐서 감사합니다. 감사합니다. Let me actually write that up because you might not know what I said. 가르쳐 주어서, or if you want to be extra polite, 주셔서. And then 감사합니다. So for doing something as a favor, teaching, or for doing something as a favor with honorific, both of these are okay. If you want to be extra polite though, 주셔서. If you're just talking to a friend, 주어서, then you can say 고마워, 고맙다, 고마워, 고마워요, 감사합니다, whatever like that. So typically 주셔서 would be better with 감사합니다 since 감사합니다 is pretty polite anyway. 가르쳐 주셔서 감사합니다. Thank you for teaching. Okay. What's next after? Oh, thanks, secretive. Yeah, that's right. I mean, like present, simple, or past. I'm not sure what you mean. You shouldn't learn it the way you learn English. It's not, the things aren't in the same order as you would learn in English. So I'd recommend just using a curriculum because it'll tell you, any website, doesn't have to be mine, anywhere will tell you, give you a curriculum, what things to learn in what order. So you want to follow that so that way you don't have big gaps in your learning. If you just try to randomly search for videos, you'll never actually learn things in order and how to use them. 자동차. K Baewon, the first one is not 차, it's just 자, 자동차. Because 자동 means automatic. So 자동차 literally means automatic car. 차 meaning car. 자동차. I see sentence like 해봐, 가봐. 지민이, I did a full live stream about that. Check it out. It's on the Google document, which you can find in my community tab. And that means to try to do something, or to literally to do something and see how it goes. But you can translate it often as trying. So like, 해봐, like try it, like that. Let's see. I'm Brazilian and talk Portuguese, but I understand English. Do you think it'd be hard for me to try to learn with you? If you think you can understand me, then that's fine. If not, then try to learn with something in your own language. Whatever is easy for you. It doesn't really matter as long as you can actually understand the resource you're using. I hope you continue growing your gaming channel. Thanks, Ocean Discovery. So far, I think it's going well. It's nice. It's just a way for me to relax after finishing editing or filming or something. Dongmin asked, 아무런 말들. You don't need 말들. You don't need to make anything plural unless it's unclear if it needs to be plural, like you need to emphasize it's plural, or you're talking about something in general, like those things in general, then you can use plural. But if you're just saying a regular word, you don't need to ever make it plural. So 아무런 말도 하지 않았어요. Yeah. But not 들. Chocolate Banana. Check out the video that I mentioned, and you can find curriculums there. 한국어 책을 언제 시작 읽어야 돼요? What are you trying to ask? The words you said individually are fine, but the sentence itself doesn't quite make sense. 한국어 책, Korean book, 언제, when, 시작, start. When do I need to start reading a Korean book? I'm guessing what you're trying to say, but I'm not sure what you mean by that. Do you mean like learning book, a book for learning Korean, or just a book written in Korean, or what exactly you're asking about it? 살면 살수록 내가 뭘 해야 하는지 점점 더 아득해져. Where'd you get that sentence, Leon? Nice. Chocolate Banana. You can find it really easily if you search start studying Korean, Gobili Korean, or start learning Gobili Korean, or whatever. And you'll find a video I said how to start studying Korean that you can find on my channel. Toluwanimi. I have a video about counters. I have 2 videos on my Learn Korean series, and I have 2 live stream that you can find. a live stream about numbers and about counters that you can find in the Google document that I've already done, that you can find on my channel. Not paid by Billy for advertising. Yeah, don't worry, Andreas. I'll pay you later. But thanks for saying that. Also, my name isn't Jiminy. Yeah, I figured it was not really Jiminy Pabu. I figured that wasn't really your name, that your last name wasn't Pabu. When you introduce yourself to, like, you know, your crush, and they're like, "What's your name?" "Oh, my name's Jiminy Pabu." Like, "Oh, it's a nice name." Yeah, I have a book series that's a curriculum. Talk to Me in Korean has a video, they also have a curriculum. It's a little different because they have like online lessons. You can also find curriculums for like any book series. Like there are other college textbook series that are also a curriculum, though you might need a tutor with some of the college textbooks. It depends. You just want something that starts from the beginning and walks you through everything in the beginning level. That's all you want. Because once you get past the beginning level, you can use any resource you want. You no longer have to stick to a curriculum. But in the beginning, you need a curriculum. You need you need some sort of guidance to know what you should learn next. Without that, you're just learning aimlessly a bunch of stuff. And sure, if you do that long enough, you'll eventually kind of pick up Korean, but you're wasting so much time when you could do it a lot more quickly. Taehyung's Gucci collection. What's the difference between 좋아하다? Yeah, someone made a sentence using those earlier and I mentioned it already. 좋아하다 is an action verb. It is an action. You are actually doing something and it means to like. I like this. I like that. 좋다 is not to like. It means literally to be. It's a descriptive verb. Good. That is good. That is a good idea. It is not good. Now, good can be used to say you like things. If you mark it with a subject marker, for example, 이 or 가, you can say 그것이 좋아요. Literally, though, you're not saying I like it. You're just saying literally it is good. But that can translate as I like it, depending on the situation. We're not going to go into that. That could be like a 10-minute lesson. But by themselves, though, 좋아하다, you would have to use with the object marker because it's an action. You're actually liking something. There's something that you like, but you're not gooding something. So you can never use 좋다 with the object marker. So that's the difference. At least that's the usage difference. Of course, like I said, there can be ways to say 좋다 meaning to like something, but it is only used in that way. Never with the object marker because it never literally means to like. It always literally means to be good, like something is good. Learning Korean with Billy and TTIBK for a while. If you speak English well enough to understand everything, study using English resources. If you can understand it, then yeah, because there's a lot of resources in English, more than any other language. But sometimes you'll get lucky and there will be a lot of resources in that language. Like there's probably a decent amount of resources for learning Korean in Spanish, maybe in French and stuff like that. But the lesser common languages, I say lesser common, they're not really uncommon. They're just, world scale, the lesser common languages. It's harder to find more resources for learning Korean. Of course, in Japanese, there's a ton. In Chinese, there's a ton. Spanish, there's still, French, all that stuff. But then when you get to Uzbekistan language or, Turkish and other languages like that, which they're very normal languages, there's just going to be a lot less material for those people studying Korean than there would be for those people studying languages around their own area or maybe English or something like that. So yeah, if you can understand English fine, you'll get the most resources in English, likely. Shout out to, actually, I don't know anyone who teaches Spanish. I think Talk to Me in Korean has or had a Espanol Learn Korean in Spanish channel. I don't know if they still do. I know they did. Maybe they do. For French, one of my friends, Kaja Korean, he's pretty nice. I met him. And he also does a YouTube channel for teaching Korean in French. And there's probably a few others. Philippine has a bunch of them, I know. So English, though, I know has the most. There's not a single stream of curriculum DNA written in Danish. Andreas, there is a Korean in Danish, the Talk to Me in Korean has the, let me find it. Talk to Me in Korean. Yeah, Talk to Me in Korean. Lær koreansk på dansk. Search it on Google. Learn Korean på dansk. It's Talk to Me in Korean made a few videos last year, actually with one of my friends, Sophie, and they speak Korean in Denmark. So I guess that's Danish, right? I think that's Danish. Yeah. And they're not a lot of videos because they just wanted to do it to be fun, like for fun, and just to kind of start it and see how things go. But yeah, let me just check it. Actually, I got it on my computer right now. I'm not going to play it. They did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They did just 11 videos on it as, I guess, a test. But definitely go there and make some comments on their videos and encourage them to make more. Because, yeah, I thought that was really cool that they did that. Yeah. Yeah, Sophie, I met her once. She is from Denmark, and she speaks Korean very well. And she also learned really quickly. And her English is, like, literally sounds flawless. It just sounds like someone with an accent. But, like, doesn't sound like a foreigner, I guess, if you say it all. It just sounds like a regular English speaker. Like, if she just told me she was from Europe, like, oh, I'm from London, I'm like, I'd believe her. I'm like, okay. But yeah, her native language, though, is Danish. And so she also did that together with Talk to Me in Korean, just made a fun course. Yeah. All right, everyone. So thank you for coming. If you have any other questions, feel free to join the Discord channel, and you can ask me them there or ask anyone else. Check the Patreon page in just a few minutes. You'll see the outline for this go on sometime within the hour. And I will see you guys again next time. 그럼 다음에 또 봐. Okay, let me just let's just look at this wonderful scenery one more time. Wow, would you look at that? Would you look at that? Oops, there we go. Okay, did you look at that? Wow, look at that scenery. Uh-oh, too far. Can't look over there. That's blocked off. Okay. Oh, wow. Whoa. Look at the cloud, the mountains. Okay, I'm done. We're done, guys. Sorry. What am I doing? Oh no. You guys aren't supposed to see this. You guys aren't supposed to see this. We're still on the mountaintop. We're still on the mountaintop.